Hi, Juan. Thank you for giving us the time. For the viewers who are seeing you for the first time and listening you for the first time, can you introduce yourself to them and tell your aviation experience?
Sure. My name is Juan Brown. I'm a Boeing 777 first officer here in the United States, and have been flying for the airlines for about 23 years now, and former military pilot, and run the Blanco Lirio YouTube channel. We've discussed a lot about the PIA crash a couple of years ago.
Yes. So today you saw a very tragic incident that happened in China. 132 people died, reported in the news. If you can brief us on the incident that took place for the viewers who are listening about this crash and about the last crashes that happened.
Well, the most important thing to realize right now is that this aircraft that crashed is a Boeing 737-800. It is not a Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. This aircraft does not have the MCAS, or maneuvering characteristics augmentation system, that the 737 MAX has. So this is a previous generation of 737 aircraft of conventional design. There's not a lot that we know right now, other than there is some video evidence out there right now. The aircraft was on about a 1.5 hour flight, and right about the point where they were about ready to begin their descent into their arrival from flight level 290, or 29,000 feet, the initial ADS-B data indicates that the aircraft just nosedived down from 290, and by the time it reached close to the ground, it was going in a near vertical descent, according to the video data, which you can see the aircraft pointed nearly straight down and then into the mountains there in China. So we don't know why the aircraft lost control, but there was clearly a loss of control of the aircraft, or something that caused the aircraft to shove the nose down and keep the nose down in a near vertical dive into the mountains.
So
it took about 2 minutes for the total descent.
Right. What's the difference between 737 MAX and this 737? Because there were a couple of crashes of 737 MAX like a couple of years ago.
Correct. That was associated with the maneuvering characteristics augmentation system, which this aircraft does not have. So when they designed the 737 MAX, they needed to make the 737 MAX the same type certificate rating as the other earlier models of 737s. So they had to design a software program that would give it some maneuvering characteristics augmentation to make this new version of the 737 MAX feel and handle like the earlier versions of the 737. So they had to install that program into it. And then, as we found out, that program had some very fatal flaws built into it that have subsequently been completely changed. And that issue is no longer an issue in the 737 MAX. And it was never an issue on these earlier models of 737s, because they simply did not have the MCAS system in it, including this aircraft that crashed today. It does not have MCAS and has none. It's not a 737 MAX.
I see. So I haven't seen any craziest video like that, like the plane just descend so quickly. So have you came across?
There is one example of this. A few years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, in Houston, Texas, a Atlas Air 767 Boeing aircraft was captured on videotape in a very eerily similar videotape, where the aircraft went straight into the ground. And after an exhaustive investigation on that accident, it was found that that particular accident was caused by the pilot flying the aircraft did cause that loss of control of the aircraft.
Oh, wow. So do you think this incident would be a Boeing issue or it would be a pilot issue?
We don't know yet, and we don't know. The investigators are they're going to have to find the data recorder, the cockpit voice recorder, and the aircraft data recorder, which I just spoke with the NTSB, our local investigators, and they are confident that they will still be able to recover some data off of that off of those video recorders. That will help explain to a great extent what happened here. So until we get that data, we really won't know if this was a pilot error or a problem with the aircraft.
So from moving forward, like how long would it take for the investigators to solve this issue?
Yeah, it's going to take at least 2 years, to get to the bottom of this. So if they get the data recorder out and they get the information out to the public, they can do a preliminary report within about 6 months or so, and that may have a lot of information in it. So the sooner they can find and release some of that FDR, flight data recorder, or cockpit or aircraft data recorder material, the sooner we'll have a clearer picture of what might have happened on this. But the final will take at least 2 years.
So there could be a possible software issue for this plane.
It's an earlier model 737. It's not that sophisticated as the 737 MAX. So it would be less likely to have a software issue than the MAX.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Anupam, for giving us the time.
Sure. No sweat.
Thank you.
See you here.